So we finally have our first official look at the Galaxy S26 Ultra and its main standout feature. We also got an early demo of the redesigned Bixby, plus some genuinely good news for anyone thinking of buying this phone. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Mr. Phone over here, and this right here is the front of the S26 Ultra. This isn't a random animation. This is coming directly from Samsung itself through One UI 8.5 firmware. And yes, the punch hole camera is noticeably bigger than what we've seen on previous Ultra phones. From a pure design perspective, that's not great. It looks like a step backward, but there's a reason Samsung did this. The selfie camera is getting wider. Samsung is increasing the field of view from 80 degrees to 85, and that extra coverage is exactly why the punch hole had to grow. By the way, the image you're seeing here is just a reference to illustrate the difference. It's not an actual camera sample. Now, the bezels look slightly thinner than the S25 Ultra. You can definitely tell the corners are more rounded this time, and you can also see the curved finish on the S Pen clicker end, which lines up perfectly with what we saw in earlier CAD leaks. You can also see Samsung has softened the frame edges, making the phone more comfortable to hold in the hand. The unit shown here appears to be the gray variant, and Samsung will also offer it in purple and black. Now, the same leak also shows off the headline feature of the S26 Ultra, and that's the new privacy display. You can turn it on either from the Settings app or directly from a quick settings toggle. You can also set conditions for when it activates automatically by editing the Conditions for Turning On section. Samsung even included an animation showing exactly how this works. When you're looking at the phone straight on, everything appears normal, but the moment you view it from the top, bottom, or either side, the display dims significantly. The idea is simple. It makes it much harder for people around you to snoop on sensitive information. Now, because this feature relies on a new FlexMagic OLED panel, it's exclusive to the S26 Ultra. Older Ultra models won't get it, and neither will the S26 or S26 Plus. At least for now, the S26 Ultra will be the only smartphone in the world with this kind of privacy display pack. Now, moving on to the other big leak, the redesigned Bixby. We have a hands-on demo, and as you can see, Samsung is completely revamping it, both in terms of UI and functionality. This time, Samsung is partnering with Perplexity to power Bixby's search and information retrieval, which is their attempt to finally make it useful. Visually, it looks very similar to ChatGPT and Gemini. You've got a text box at the bottom, a hamburger menu in the top left, and a new chat button in the top right. All your previous conversations live inside that menu. Functionally, you can do most of what you'd expect from Gemini or ChatGPT, but based on this leak, it doesn't look like Bixby can see your screen or access your camera feed. Both ChatGPT and Gemini can upload images, and Gemini can even view your screen through screen sharing to help you out. Bixby doesn't seem to be there yet. Maybe that'll change with the retail version. You can also talk to it, and honestly, it still sounds robotic. I'll be honest, Gemini and ChatGPT are miles ahead right now, but competition is always a good thing. Samsung's real advantage is system-level integration. For example, you can ask Bixby something like, "Is my battery protection turned on?" and it will give you a direct answer. Gemini can't do that. So hopefully Samsung keeps improving it, because there's potential here. Another side note is kind of wild that Bixby is now arguably better than Siri. And before you ask, Gemini isn't going anywhere. It will still be available on the S26 Ultra. You just have more options now. Moving on to pricing, a few days ago I mentioned that Samsung was still undecided on the S26 lineup pricing. Component costs have gone up, especially memory, which has made these phones more expensive to manufacture. Samsung basically had two choices: pass that cost on to consumers or absorb it and take a hit on profits. Well, according to a new Korean report, Samsung has made its decision. They're taking the profit hit. That means prices are staying the same as last year, so we're looking at $800 for the S26, $1,000 for the S26 Plus, and $1,300 for the S26 Ultra. The same report also mentions the launch date. Samsung is expected to unveil the S26 lineup on February 25th in San Francisco. The phones should hit stores a couple of weeks later, in March. The report doesn't explain the delay, but it's likely the memory shortage and the last-minute lineup changes. Now I've got some more S26 Ultra updates and its new features. You can find more exciting tech videos. Subscribe now and stay updated with the latest tech news every single day. This is Mr. Phonova. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.